Well, Gino nominated me for eviction because he had to look at his game from a from that marathon, not a sprint perspective. And going forward, it was very clear that a lot of people in the house didn't necessarily want to work with me after the craziness of week three. And the fact that Gino and I were tied so tightly together, it was one of those things that his name would be synonymous with mine as long as I was in the house. So to put me up, it was a move that I respect so much from a game perspective because it was a fantastic move for his game. G's a really smart, wonderful human being, and to see him make a move like that, I was really proud of him for sure. Why do I think I got evicted? I just think that it's one of those things in the house. The dynamics are so interesting where when you have when a house guest gives you a reason to unite the rest of the house, there's an element of safety that the rest of the house finds comfort in, where it's like, as long as there's one person who's kind of on the outs, that person is priority number one for everybody, and everybody is safe as long as that person kind of goes home. So I think it's so early on in the process. It was only week four. Everyone just kind of wanted to have a chance to unite the house, reset their games, refresh as they headed into these really crucial pre-jury weeks. Um, it's so tough. I would say that I truly would say that Marty is one of those people that I trusted a lot in the house. Both of us being from New Brunswick, it was difficult, to kind of hear that he thought that I gave him reasons to not trust me, and so he turned on me. And then afterwards, it kind of came out that I didn't try to backstab him, and he kind of just shot first. And then afterwards, he tried to kind of wipe his hands clean of the whole situation. And so that element definitely love Marty as a guy for sure. One of the nicest people I've met, especially in the house. But yeah, definitely from a game level, I'd say that that's the name that pops to mind. Oh my gosh, the hardest part of the game, like it's all hard. It's one of those things. As a fan, I came into the show thinking that like I understood Big Brother, thinking that I could ever truly comprehend what it's like to be in that house, to be isolated from the people that you love and your support systems. My mental health was up, down, and all around in the house. That was, it was super tough to deal with all of the social dynamics that are there, plus trying the internal dynamics that I have to deal with, maybe more so than some of the other house guests. It is a unbelievably difficult game that I have so much respect for. And I definitely think that just the entire process, the entire game, all of it, it's just tough. Oh, it's so tough to say. It really is. I think that based on kind of where I think this week could be heading, I could possibly see it being Herman. I don't know. Herman, I know, is super insulated, but in just kind of how crazy these past few weeks have been, and I just call it a gut feeling, but I think Zoe Buns. I think that it might be Herman.
Anything can happen, right?
Anything can happen in the Big Brother, especially in season 10. Only one. This experience for me this experience for me has meant a lot. Not just to participate in a game that I love, and to be in this environment of pure competition, but also just kind of like from a personal standpoint. Like, I'm 23 years old. I came into this house with a bit of an inflated ego, and thinking that I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. I know the show. I know the dynamics. I work with people all the time. I know how to read. Blah 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 blah. Overestimating my abilities, and definitely it was just one of those things where, like, I had to fight and grind and claw my way to stay in that house for as long as possible. And that fight started, end of week two into week three. So that was like, it was tough. It was an exercise in resiliency. And it was just, there's so many things that I'll take away, but just that it gave me an opportunity to really kind of gain a newfound perspective on kind of my life, what I want after the house for myself, and where I see kind of the next few years taking me.